And now, live from Laurel, Maryland, USA, the town that straddles the ladders, it's snack time.
I hate to do this to you, but due to the nature of this program, parental discretion is advised. If you're watching Snackboy with a younger brother or sister, halfway through the program you're expected to cover their eyes and their ears or even take them away from the computer. Yet again, parental discretion is advised. I don't like saying that. I remember back in the early 80s, The Shining came on TV, and I wanted to see it, and it said due to, parental discretion is advised because of violence and whatever. And my mom was like, well, you're not watching that. No, if it's parental discretion, it's smut, and you are not watching it. I was like, Mom, I want to see The Shining. And she's like, no, end of story. But you know what? Parental discretion is advised on today's Snackboy. But what is Snackboy? Well, most of you are my good friends, and you already know. But for the people who might be new, let's do a little update. Snackboy is about you and me. It's about 3:15. It is about 5 minutes of storytelling. I know a lot of people write in and they say, Terry, come on, 5 minutes is not enough time. By the time you get to the end of the story, when things are really building and getting interesting, you leave us. And you leave us hanging on. Are we supposed to just go to bed every night and supposed to dream up the ending? Well, people, I understand, but I'm only allotted 5 minutes. If it were up to me, I'd have a 10-minute show, but it's not up to me, and it's not up to the producers. We can only give you what we can, so please bear with us, and please enjoy the snack for what it is, a storytelling session between you and me. On to today's snack. I had a school teacher named Mrs. Miller in high school. She was a history teacher, and she was my absolute favorite teacher, and Carla was her favorite teacher, too. And Mrs. Miller treated us really well. And one year when it came to prom time, I had my tux and my date had her dress. And Carla thought, well, it'd be fun if me and her at the time boyfriend could go in medieval garb. So Carla said, Mrs. Miller, do you mind if I wear one of your sassy medieval gowns to the prom? And she said, Mrs. Miller said, but of course, Carla. That's kind of how she talks. Of course, Carla, you can wear one of my medieval sassy gowns. Why don't you and Terry come over to the house and you can meet my son and you can pick out a gown for yourself, Carla. Come on over Saturday, 10:30 sharp. We said, thank you, Mrs. Miller, and she gave us the directions. Well, we showed up Saturday, and her house was like a medieval palace. It was very nice, actually. And we all went upstairs, and Carla and Mrs. Miller started looking through the closets. Oh, Carla, this dress might be perfect for you. Try it on. And downstairs, I said, you mind if I go down and get a drink of water? And she said, oh, don't worry, Terry. Go down and give the dog some attention. Give him a little pet. He's a sweetie, really. So I went downstairs, and I saw Mrs. Miller's dog right by the TV, a big screen TV, kind of hooked into the Dolby surround sound stereo kind of thing. And I said, oh, who's your little puppy? Oh, who's your little puppy? And I started petting the dog. And there, right on the table, the end table, was a remote control and a little video cassette. And it was a box that said, Treasure Island Fun. Treasure Island Fun. I thought to myself, I love Treasure Island. I've always loved Treasure Island. When I was a kid, I had a Treasure Island book that had, every 5th page was a really cool picture of Treasure Island. Let's see it. Maybe this is a new version. So I took the box out. I popped it in her VCR. I didn't really know how to work things, so it had a play button. I pressed play, and there came the Treasure Island. It was a porno! It was a dirty XXX porno! And Treasure Island consisted of, really fat, gross blonde women with all this body hair. And they were making love to, these pirate kind of guys with, stuffed dollar store pirates on their shoulders. And they were all on the beach, and they were going at it. But the worst thing was this. Upstairs was Mrs. Miller and Carla, and I could hear them. The floorboards of the old house were creaking. And I knew at any second they could come down. I could even hear Mrs. Miller's voice. Oh, Carla, that dress looks divine on you. Let's go down and see what Terry thinks. And Carla said, well, what about some jewelry? And I was like, oh, no, they're coming down. And on the movie, it's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And I could picture it. She was going to see me, and she was going to think that I popped a porno in. And not only was I embarrassed for me, people, I was embarrassed for Mrs. Miller. I took all of the embarrassment and shame that went along with being a teacher whose student found your porno collection, and I internalized it. My inner child feared her reaction. I was nervous for me, and I was nervous for her. When in the driveway pulled her husband and his pickup truck. So I picked up the remote control, and they're on the beach slamming away. Oh, yeah! oh yeah, come on, give it to me, matey. And I could hear the door close outside. Boom, and I could hear Carla and Mrs. Miller walking on the wooden floors upstairs. Creak, creak. And they were coming down. I picked up the remote control, and it was a labyrinth of buttons, people. There was a different colored button for everything. And the top was divided into the stereo, the bottom into the VCR, the middle into the television. It was programmed and reprogrammed. I couldn't see a forward. I couldn't see a rewind. I couldn't see a stop. I tried looking for power. And I pressed, and nothing was working. And finally I hit a button, and the volume went up. Oh, yeah! Ah!
Cut.